Urgent, Raiders fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Perfect trade Las Vegas Raiders must complete after 2025 NFL free agency frenzy. The Las Vegas Raiders have already had a pretty exciting offseason. Las Vegas was going nowhere fast at the end of the 2024 season. The Raiders only won 4 games during the regular season and missed the playoffs. As a result, they fired first-year head coach Antonio Pierce and GM Tom Telesco. Now there is reason to hope about the future in Las Vegas. The Raiders replaced Pierce with legendary head coach Pete Carroll, formerly of the Seahawks. They also added John Spytek as their new general manager. The brains trust of Carroll and Spytek did not waste much time improving the roster. Las Vegas traded a third-round pick to Seattle for QB Geno Smith just before the start of NFL free agency. This one move was incredibly important for the Raiders. Not only did it solve their biggest need for the foreseeable future, it also frees them up to use the 6th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft however they wish. The Raiders also brought in several fresh faces during the first few weeks of NFL free agency. Las Vegas added a few pieces on offense, investing a 2-year deal in guard Alex Kappa and a 1-year deal for running back Raheem Mostert. They also spent significant resources adding new faces on defense. The Raiders brought in Eric Stokes, Darnay Holmes, Jeremy Chin, Lonnie Johnson Jr., and Elandon Roberts to play roles on defense. They also retained Adam Butler and Malcolm Kunsey to create some consistency as well. Despite all of these moves, the Raiders are still lacking talent on the offensive side of the ball. However, that could quickly be rectified with one simple trade. Below, we will explore the perfect trade the Raiders need to make after 2025 NFL free agency. Pete Carroll reunites with another familiar face from Seahawks in this perfect Raiders trade. We will start by highlighting the proposed trade terms before getting into any analysis of this potential deal. Raiders receive RB Kenneth Walker, 3rd 2025 5th-round pick, 175th overall. Compensatory Seahawks receive TE Michael Mayer, 2025 4th-round pick, 108th overall. This trade could work out well for both teams. Kenneth Walker III would be a huge upgrade for the Raiders in their backfield. Mostert is the most talented back on the roster, followed by, I suppose, Sincere McCormick. That alone shows how much work Las Vegas has to do at the position. There is growing buzz that the Raiders could be the team to pick Ashton Jeanty in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. Even if the Raiders do have plans to select Jeanty in the first round, it is always smart to have a backup plan. Walker III is a solid running back who would be a huge upgrade in Las Vegas, even as a role player next to a stud like Jeanty. If Walker III is so useful, then why would the Seahawks even consider trading him away? There are a few compelling reasons on Seattle's side to get this deal done. One factor could be his consistently dropping production. Walker III burst onto the scene with 228 rushes for 1,050 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2022. However, all 3 of those statistics have dropped each season since. He finished the 2024 season with 153 carries for 573 yards and 7 touchdowns. That is still some respectable production, but Walker III clearly is not viewed as a bell cow running back anymore. It certainly does not help that he shares a backfield with Zach Charbonnet. To make matters worse, Walker III is in the final year of his rookie contract. If the Seahawks want to recoup any value for Walker III, now is the time to do it. The Seahawks also stand to benefit plenty from adding Michael Mayer. A.J. Barner is the only tight end who the Seahawks currently have under contract for the 2026 season. Noah Fant has been a solid player for the Seahawks, but they are well overdue for an upgrade. Meanwhile, the Raiders are content to give Brock Bowers all of their tight end production. Going back to Walker III, his shortcomings should not be that scary to the Raiders. Even if Walker III quickly becomes an RB2 behind Ashton Jeanty, Las Vegas should welcome having an incredible running back rotation, especially when Mostert is the best back they currently have. The Raiders could always use a draft pick on a new starting running back, assuming they pass on Ashton Jeanty. That said, Walker III brings valuable chemistry with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. He is also familiar with how Carroll likes to operate his offenses in Seattle. Las Vegas needs to get Seattle on the phone to discuss a trade like this one. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Raider Nation news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Dolphins trade pitch gives Tua Tagovailoa. Weapon from Raiders. With NFL free agency becoming thinner by the day, the Miami Dolphins need to explore the trade market. They still have a handful of starting positions available and need an influx of talent across the roster. Most of those additions will come via 2025 NFL draft selections, but Dolphins general manager Chris Grier should inquire about Las Vegas Raiders tight end Michael Mayer. The Raiders selected Mayer in the second round, number 35 overall of the 2023 NFL draft, but he's struggled to adapt to the professional game. He's rightfully fallen behind All-Pro Brock Bowers on the depth chart and needs a fresh start. Mayer has started 20 of his 25 career games, totaling 48 receptions, 460 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Due to personal matters, he missed 6 games in 2024 but returned against the Dolphins in Week 11. With Mayer past those issues and being shopped by Las Vegas, Miami would be a great place to start over. Starting tight end, Jonnu Smith is coming. Off a career year 88 receptions, 884 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, but he turns 30 years old before the season. The Dolphins need another weapon around quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, and Mayer could develop into QB1's future TE1. At only 23 years old, Mayer is an above-average blocker and has untapped potential as a pass catcher. Like most deals, Miami's interest in Mayer likely comes down to price. The 2025 tight end class, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo, etc., is deep and talented, so I'd expect a day 3 pick to close the deal. Raiders offensive line. What's Kolton Miller's future with the team? Stalwart left tackle. Is on final year of extension he signed back in 2021 from panned as a first-round reach to a stalwart anchor of the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line. Kolton Miller is a textbook example of a player who struggled, grinded, and evolved into an elite player. The number 15 pick of the 2018 NFL Draft plays the integral left tackle position, which protects the quarterback's blind side. Injuries dampened Miller's effectiveness his rookie season, but he's since become a left tackle that can handle power and speed. Rushers alike who uses his 6'8", 326-pound frame to engulf defenders. 7 season deep, Miller is in his prime at age 29 and remains one of the top left tackles in the league. So much so, Miller earned a 3-year, $15 million contract extension with $6 million guaranteed during the 2021 offseason, but that extension runs through this upcoming 2025 campaign. With a $15.68+ salary cap number this year, which is quite affordable for a left tackle of Miller's caliber, 13th highest cap number at the position group. Overall, Miller is slated to hit unrestricted free agency next offseason. Thus, what's Miller's future with the team? SpotRack identified Miller as one of the notable extension candidates in the NFL, and it's easy to see why. Even after being on the physically unable to perform PUP list for the majority of last offseason, Miller returned and, not surprisingly, struggled early, but he regained his elite form to start all 17 games for the Silver Black in 2024. If Pro Football Focus PFF grades are your thing, Miller garnered an overall 80, 6th grade from the group, which ranks him 14th overall. He earned a PFF pass blocking grade of 82, 211th and run blocking grade of 71, 731st, his 1,075 snaps in 2024. Ranked 11th amongst tackles according to PFF, and he penalties and sacks allowed of 7, respectively, rank 101st and 127th from the group. Miller was also the Line Raiders' offensive lineman to play in all 17 games this past season. Based on performance, Miller merits a long look at a potential contract extension. General Manager John Spytek and head coach Pete Carroll could also determine they'd like to see how Miller fares in the offensive coordinator Chip Kelly's scheme before making another long-term commitment. Miller's valuation from SpotRack and over-the-cap OTC represent to raise from the extension he signed in 2021 that has an annual per year of $18.005 million. SpotRack holds a 4-year, $78.781+ million market value for Miller, with an annual average salary per year of $19.695+ million. OTC, on the other hand, has a valuation of $11.812 million average per year. The higher value from SpotRack would give Miller the 11th richest left tackle average per year. The San Francisco 49ers' Trent Williams is atop the position group with an average of 27, $553+ million per season. The Minnesota Vikings' Christian Darrisaw is right behind with an average of $26 million per year. That all said, Las Vegas is a team that isn't hurting for salary cap space, and the offseason foray under Spytek and Carroll thus far has shown fiscal responsibility with contract extensions doled out and who the team brought in, brought back, and let walk in free agency. Considering Miller's track record and his career progression, having a veteran lead-by-example type long-term helps not only Kelly, but offensive line coach Brennan Carroll and assistant offensive line coach Andy Dixon. With the entire unit, there's also the matter of not having a ready-made option to step into the blind side for Miller, too. Third-year tackle Thayer Munford Jr. did an admirable job filling in at left tackle when Miller has been unavailable, but the Ohio State product started at right tackle this season before injury saw him get surpassed by rookie DJ Glaze, who was taken in the third round, 77th overall in the 2024 draft. Glaze went on to start 14 games and play 998 snaps at right tackle opposite of Miller, and Glaze doesn't appear poised to give up that spot anytime soon. As such, the Raiders' depth at tackle reads Munford, Dalton Wagner, and Gottlieb Ayedze. The latter two are young players who have little NFL experience, with Wagner profiling more as a mauling right tackle who is more sound as a run blocker than pass protector. Ayedze, meanwhile, was collegiate teammates with Glaze at Maryland, but played right tackle. He was the starting left tackle at Frostburg State for 2 seasons, 2021-22, before his lone year with the Terrapins. Noted for his pass protection, Ayedze needs to get stronger and solidify his anchor against professional power and speed. Las Vegas could always bolster depth at left tackle as free agency is ongoing and the 2025 draft coming in April, but Miller's established himself as one of the best. Why left a sure thing walk? And unless there's a steep drop-off in 2025, a long-term pact seems apt. And now, Raiders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Raiders. He'll be back any moment with more Raider Nation news.